Got a comment from Mr. Mills, and then anyone else who wishes to talk to the council. Mr. Mills.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You can tell from the packed audience the interest in science.
You note the presence of 8 people in the audience, of whom 4 are Stewardship Council or Science Program staff. I got it. Okay.
And my point being that that's unfortunate. The science program is premised on promoting science-based adaptive management. Adaptive management is predicated on ongoing knowledge acquisition, which speaks to the need for a rigorous science program, and I use the term rigorously to imply extremely thorough, exhaustive, and scrupulously accurate per Webster. That should be our standard. I'm finally going to invoke the name also of Emil Faber at this time, from famous Faber College in Animal House, who said, "Knowledge is good." And with that, I want to point out that in a previous life, I served on the Cal-Fed Bay Delta Ecosystem Restoration Roundtable. And it was a humbling experience to find out how little about the Delta science we all collectively knew. And we were supposed to be We were either the dregs of the Cal-Fed program or the cream of the crop. I'm not sure, but either way, it was a humbling experience. And as I look at what we're facing ahead, we have a highly complex ecosystem that seems to get more complicated every year, partially because we find out more about it and partially because more things go wrong that are drawn to our attention. This requires, I think, from the council standpoint of actually achieving the co-equal goals, we need to work together on this, and I'm glad to hear some of the statements by Dr. Goodwin about this, that we need to help with the information we've got, and the science program needs to help us, because we're each ignorant on some things that each other know. And I think that if we can create a better, not using the term stakeholder, a lot of the work we do is research as well and out in our agency, so if we can create a better exchange of information between those who are devoted to this process and support the co-equal goals with the science program, it can help us refine our research. It can help the science program get better. We also need to talk about what are the limits to the science program from the council. If there are funding shortages, well, we're rewriting the water bond right now. So if we need to address that, we need to take that on right now. If there are other challenges in staff retention or ISB problems, let us know what those are and let us help you. If it's political support you need, we can do that. If it's technical support, we can provide that. But I just want to point out that this is important, and there are a lot of us who follow this more closely than others, but irrespective of all of the time we spend agonizing over the regulations and the red lines and the templates and so on, coming back at the end of the day, we need a rigorous science program to support the council, and we stand ready to help in that.
John, thank you very much. It's worth noting that staff is involved in the budget discussion. As you know, the council and the science program and the independent science board have no permanent source of funding. That was not part of the legislative deal in 2009. And add to that the fact that since the slow decline of Cal-Fed funding and activities, a significantly lower amount of money has been available for science. A lot of money is getting spent, but it's scattered around. And one of the things that is important and is part of the BDCP discussion is how to integrate independent science, current entities in their activities. But probably fair to say that we have used up all the bond money that was allocated to us to get started, and much of that went to science, since science is about 60% of all the money we spend every year, and we're going to bump up against a lot of restrictions quite rapidly, and we will try to solve them. And thank you for the offer to help.
Whatever we can do.
Good. Thank you, sir.